Hey everybody, Maggie here with a quick little process video on how I'm using up some of the papers in the main Birds and the Bees scrapbook kit. So the papers that came in the Birds and the Bees scrapbook main kit are beautiful. I love the colors. I love the patterns, kind of the springy, floral, flowery, ferny, leafy patterns in these papers. But if you know anything about my layouts, you know that I am mostly a white cardstock girl with just some patterns and colors added in. So I wanted to use these papers, but I really kind of want to keep my background a little more understated. I'm not going to be using white cardstock for this layout, but you'll see this is actually, this paper was also in the main kit. This is the opposite side of this this paper. It's like ledger paper almost, and this is right up my alley. This is the kind of paper that I love to scrap on if I'm not using just plain white cardstock. So this is going to be the background for my layout, but because I wanted to use all these beautiful papers and all these beautiful colors, I am going to use just 2-inch circles of these papers so that I get all this beautiful color and beautiful pattern on my page, but I can kind of keep a lot of white space, which is something that I love. So I went ahead and with my 2-inch punch, I just punched out 1 or 2 of each of these patterns here. So I've got my plain cardstock and some of my pattern cardstock. Now I liked both sides of this pattern paper, so I'm going to use one of each of those. And I like both of these, but let's see. I know I want to use this, not sure if I'm going to use the pink polka dot as well. So let's start. All right. I don't want a grid. I want something a little more random. Oh, and let me show you the photo that I took too. I punched that into a circle as well. So this is a photo of my daughter that I wanted to scrap. I punched that using the 2-inch punch as well, so that'll fit right in with the rest of my patterns and my papers. And let's see how I want to do this. I want things a little off. And I don't want the greens too close to each other or the blues. I'll see. And look, I don't want this pattern paper behind her head because then it looks like she's wearing this giant floral hat, right? So I'll take that out. Kind of move these around till I see, and that looks a little too symmetrical. I may not have room for this one. I'm going to put this one to the side for now. That's not really my favorite anyway. Okay, so I think I kind of like this arrangement. And so I'm just going to go down, before I overthink it, I'm just going to go in and adhere these to my paper so that I can move on. Sometimes I think you just got to say glue it down, you know. May not be perfect, may not be, you know, exactly what you were looking for, but honestly, just glue it down and move on. I remember I used to spend hours and hours on one layout, painstakingly trying to get everything exactly where it looked perfect, and I was 100% happy with every single thing that was on that page. And I gotta tell you, that is exhausting. Exhausting. Never got anything done. So I've kind of moved on from that a little bit. And now, you know what? I say, this is okay, this is good, I like it, moving on. Getting it down, and going forward. Now that's not to say that I don't spend still some time trying to find exactly where I want to put stuff, but trying not to be so crazy about it anymore. Okay, so let's get these in here. There we go. Okay, so now my next step, I am going to add, let's see, a few of these chipboard stickers that were in the main kit. The colors coordinate perfectly with the papers, of course. And we'll just add some of these in here. Okay, so we've got those added on, and now I'm going to go back in with some of the stamps from this month's kit. So this is the stamp, one of the two that went with the main scrapbook kit, this little flag. And this is from One Little Bird. So pretty, these butterflies and birds. And this stamp is from the Queen Bee scrapbook add-on. So I'm going to try to incorporate all of these stamps, and I really love the look of black stamping, so I'm just going to use black for all of my stamping in here. I really love too, when I have all these bright colors, if I can kind of ground them with black stamping and black ink, black mist. I think that really bold black looks so good with a bunch of color. So I'm just going to use black here, and I'm also going to add my date here with the Studio Calico date stamp, this amazingly huge, awesome stamp. Why don't I go ahead and do that first? I've already got a place right on the top of my layout here for, it just has the month and the year, but I'm just going to go ahead and stamp right over the top. Already I like the way that looks with that black. And let's see what kind of stamps we can add in. So I really love this flag stamp, and I haven't used this on anything yet. So let's see if I can go in and add this somewhere. So let's go in. What's really neat about this flag too is that it's got these darling little sentiments. So I'm going to add love you on here. Okay, now because I didn't get that flag, I wanted it to be up a little bit. And it wasn't really, it's not really attached to this circle here. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of ink or mist splotches here to try to kind of incorporate these two things a little bit. Add a few more stamps. And how about, oh, I really like this spread your wings. So I'm going to add that in here. Let's see how this will look. Now normally I want to make the comment that normally I would add this mist at the end and then let it dry, because especially if I'm trying to move quickly, I know that I would have the tendency, of course, as soon as I put the mist in, to put my hands in it and spread it all over my paper. But I did want to get that done right away this time. So let's see how that would look. Yeah, I don't know how I like that under there. Okay, we're just going to do it because I like the sentiment. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to only ink up. This sentiment is written on here, what, 3 times? I'm only going to ink up one of them. And how about, I really do love this stamp set, this one from Queen Bee. So I'm going to put, wonder if any of these are appropriate. Maybe that heart. Sometimes just the icons from a stamp set I think are perfect. So let's go in and add that heart in here a couple of times. Good. All right. And a few more mist drops and we may be done with this. So let's figure out where else I can do this. Let's add a couple over here. What do you guys think? Pretty good and super easy, right? There you go. So now we've got a way to add a whole bunch of color and pattern paper to understated background, add some stamps for a little visual effect, some mist just to kind of round everything out, and done. Thanks so much, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this process video, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.